Sorry, pardon the brief mic bump there.
Well, I get everything still kind of mostly sorted. Shmee. Where the hell did I put whatever I was going to listen to? There it is. Oh, too loud. There we go. Okay, I think that's everything else set up.
Oh, right, and chat. God, I've only been doing this since fucking November. You'd think eventually I'd realize how long my own startup song is, but no. No. Never. Okay, this actually looks like it loaded immediately. Ah. I don't think Elbows is supposed to make that noise. That might even have been audible. Shit. Anyway, hey all, how are all of you doing? Welcome back to, I've been awake since 6, but didn't get out of bed until 7:30 because, yeah. And then sat down and accidentally found another really wholesome trans-positive webcomic that has apparently been going since 2004, so I have so much to binge, which is why I'm starting at the end of my projected, I'll start within this time period.
Yes, just like that.
Ugh.
Is the heel lift stretch. Bring the weight
This is why I cannot be trusted.
toward the ring collar.
Ugh.
This stretch targets your lower back. Next time. Yes, looking great.
Oh, legs, why? Oh, because I did nothing but squats yesterday. That's why.
Your hips. Focus on your form when raising your arms.
Oh, that reminds me, I should check that
This stretch works your core as well.
that extremely impromptu Twitter poll that I don't actually expect anyone to respond to
One more each.
to see if anyone had any responses to it.
All right.
Should also probably retweet it now that it's like a more reasonable fucking time of day.
Raise the ring collar to the side.
Instead of like 9 in the
Make sure your
evening when I initially tweeted it.
This stretch works your back. Let's do one more of each.
Earbiter.
Great job.
I did just realize my water bottle is still upstairs, so oh well. Okay. Phone, come here. Whew. Yeah. We met the spirit of Allegra, which is probably not how her name is pronounced, because that's the name of a drug, but whatever. Okay, what side quest do you have? 50 pieces of trash? Okay. For 2 defense drinks? Sure. Hello, guys. Hello. Do you want to come here? No? Okay. Oh. You're a very pretty boy. Sure, back. Oh, you don't want to sit on the couch anymore? You're a pretty boy. God, you're such a pretty dog. Okay, I'm just gonna fill out these other 2 spots with something. Yes, give thigh press. Always give thigh press. Ugh. Sorry, my everything's a little sore today. I swear, it sounds like this floor is slowly falling apart to squeaks underneath me. How exactly something is constructed out of squeaks, don't know, but pretty sure that's what's happening. That's why I keep moving farther and farther over to the right side here, because this part of the floor doesn't squeak. Just gonna be... Nope, shit. I even know there's an idol in there that we just missed. Because I remember it from last time. Which I guess was yesterday, but whatever. What even is time? Are you just doing this on stream now? Give me all of your trash. It's actually just reminding me that Haley and I had a super fun discussion of, so now that our tenant has moved out, we're trying to decide what to do with the room above my office. And I'll level with you. If there were a way to get a wired internet connection up there without me having to run goddamn Ethernet cables or coax cables through a wall and a ceiling? Oh, don't you dare tell me I'm off by one. Okay. I'd probably move my office up there just so that I could do this stream without the squeaking. Hey, done randomly. Wait, is there a doggo on stream? I don't think there's one in here. The other plans so far are Haley wants to repaint the room, which I'm actually on board with. And she wants to refloor the room, which I'm less on board with. For a couple of reasons. One of which is maybe in the orange cat. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. They were both over there for a second there. There's a better than zero chance that we'll be attempting to sell the house in the next amount of time. And I wouldn't necessarily want to try and sell a house with floors that I redid. Also, the room above me is like the one room in the house that's carpets are totally fine. The reason why Haley wants to redo it is because she hates carpet. And she wants to redo it with hardwood on... Okay, go with me on this, because this still feels really weird to me, which is part of why I'm so opposed to it. Our entire house, except for the kitchen and the bathrooms, is carpet. Kitchen, along with the hallway connected to the kitchen, is all tile, and bathrooms are all laminate, except for the one that's on the tile floor, so it just has a continuation of the tile. And she wants to do faux hardwood in one bedroom that isn't the master bedroom, that is connected to a carpeted hallway and carpeted stairs. I'm just like I can get one room being hardwood or faux hardwood, but not when it's a second floor room. Especially when it's the one whose carpet isn't fucked up in some way. Because the living room, the carpet is like coming up at the borders. In here, the floor is squeaky, Mostly just here, which means that, I don't know, it's probably just a lack of padding down there. And the previous owners kept a not well-maintained cat box in here, so underneath that couch is a hell spot that we've owned this house for 3 years? Holy shit, have we owned this house for 3 years? 2 or 3 years, and it's been an ongoing process of trying to remove that spot whenever I remember it exists. And then that little fucker, who I think is just barely on camera, decided to tear up the stuff in front of the master bedroom. So... Oh, right, you're a pull one, not a push one. But the reason why we might be moving is because Haley's been looking for a job, basically since the beginning of the pandemic. And tomorrow, she has a before getting an interview meeting with the head of R&D for a company she applied to work for, because this head of R&D has worked with her before. And saw her name come across in the applications. Was like, why would you be doing that? Hey, do you want to have a meeting beforehand? Yeah, the original place that Lair of Lore came from was because my friend Miriam and I used to run a Magic the Gathering podcast focused on, if you're connected with the MTG community, we were what is known as Vorthoses, people who are interested in mechanics and how the game plays and enjoy playing the game, but had way more fun looking at the lore and story and how those things were brought across through mechanics. And we kept trying to come up with just a nice, simple name for it. And we ended up going with, technically the podcast was called Labyrinth of Lore. And we're like, this is just way too fucking complex to say every time. And just started shortening it to Lair of Lore. And it just kind of stuck. Plus, it's kind of nice to have also, because my preferred name is definitely not available on Twitch, because 3-letter usernames are basically just not accessible. It's nice to have a name that's not just the thing that I also go by, if that makes any sense. But I think I don't know if it's actually visible on camera. Hang on, I need to check. Is it on camera? Not quite. Okay. This painting is a version of our old thing. Oh god, I'm gonna level with you right here, done randomly. Some of the stupid things done with Chandra are the reason why we don't run that podcast anymore. That and problems with the people who made those decisions. Like, if you don't follow, I would want the Cap username, but it's 100% not accessible. Twitch won't actually let you pick up 3-letter usernames anymore. But the person who is in charge of Magic Story has views that Miriam and I very much do not agree with, that are most simply summarized with, yeah, basically there's a period where you could get 3-letter usernames, but only if you had them over on Justin TV. But you can't make a new one. So the person who's in charge of Magic Story is of the opinion that they should be using magic's overwhelming existence as a brand to get to alternate between getting big names in to tell stories, like Brandon Sanderson, who won't work with them anymore for reasons I'll go into in a minute, and on the flip side, to get unknowns to work for them for very cheap. And part of facilitating this methodology, he uses this idea that no, shit. He uses this idea that magic characters shouldn't be characters, they should be maintained as an archetype, which if you followed Magic's story with Ixalan, which was one of the ones that we absolutely adored because it suddenly made pronounce a douchebag Jace Bellerin not suck. He entered the next storyline, which was written by a different person who did not have access to the character development he got during Ixalan, and was immediately just back to being a shithole because they're just based off of archetypes. Also, this person, Kendall? I need to check the name because I'm going to fuck that up because I think I was about to actually say a podcaster's name who has nothing to do with it. But they're the most recent Magic person I've talked about recently. Well, see, that's our other problem, though, is that the person in charge, the person in charge of writing has only ever published a book. And that book is profoundly fucked up, because it is a work that has been delisted by its publishers because it's profoundly pedophilic. And gets even worse because it was apparently based on his master's thesis. Because it's a book called Girls, ! That is a theoretically fictional account of how all men secretly crave prepubescent girls. And we did an entire episode on it and going, this is the person in charge of Magic's story. Why is this even okay? And about once a year or so, someone goes back and realizes, oh, no worries, this is why we don't talk about Magic here very much, because WotC's a fucking hell company that actively protects racists and harassers inside its company structure. Yeah, it's kind of like learning about the author of Alice in Wonderland, except that's more trying to bemoaning not being able to get access to a particular prepubescent girl. I just always found this one so much creepier because it's specifically someone putting forward this idea that all men crave prepubescent girls. Like, no, they fucking don't. Also, I need to go check his name because it's gonna drive me nuts. Whew. What the fuck is his name? Nick Kelman, that's it. Yeah, I believe it should be on YouTube. I know that it's all on our website for sure. But we have not done an episode since, like, I don't know, 2019. We came back briefly because we were intrigued by Eldraine, but that was about it. And even that was... We only briefly came back because We're like, ooh, fairy tales, and ooh, baking, because she went to the same university I did, and we both have degrees in baking. And we're like, ooh, interesting. Ah, shit, it's not actually that interesting, also. It was like the one time that I ever made use of briefly being a Magic content creator for the, like, being able to do stuff on Arena. Super not worth it, because it has the most goddamn parasitic business model of any free-to-play card game I've ever seen. Wait, the website link isn't working? What? It should just be lairoflore.com. I think, oh wait, did that not, hang on. I'm trying to remember when the renewal date for that comes up, and I think it's this month or next month? The Mana Pool is a different Magic podcast run by a good friend of mine, Chewy, which I do actually really recommend. He's very good. Shit. He's also been doing this for fucking years. Oh, hello, weird divot in the ground. The links on the YouTube channel are... What the fuck? That's bizarre. I will go through and check them. I mean, the secret tech that I always like to say is that for damn near anything we do is just type in Lair of Lore to your preferred search engine and it's like 90% guaranteed to be us. Yes, I know the iPad battery is low. Come here. Oh, I only got one? Fuck. Wow, I got no idols this run. But I guess I am like 30 levels over leveled. Really? What? Wait, what YouTube video are you looking at? Because... These should all be, like, I'm looking at one right now and they all look correct. Here, you come here. No, don't play. Whew. Where are you getting these links from? Because that's not a... Where are you getting the... This must be a very old video that you're looking at then. Because I've been using the same autofill that does the Lair of Lore ones for like 2 years? God, I can't even remember the last time I used Neon as a handle anywhere. Mostly because no one could ever fucking pronounce it. I guess it used to be the Twitch handle, but that was a long time ago. Because that was before... Oh! Those are all wrong because they're a pain in the ass to change. And because, they're a pain to find. Sorry, if you look at any YouTube video description, the correct ones are there. I will go fix that after this. I'm gonna level with you. There's like 60 people, maybe 10 of whom aren't bots that subscribe to the YouTube channel. I mostly just keep it up to date for myself. Cause I have all of our, what's it called? Basically all of our streams archived there, even if they're not actually live yet. Cause I was really bad about this summer. Mostly just as a proof to myself that I do far too many streams. that, and I think there's a couple videos from when I briefly attempted to do content creation before Overwatch came out, and got very deep into being one of those people who obsessed over the little hints and bits of lore from the trailers they put out. And after a while went, oh wait, they don't actually care about this. They're just doing this so that people like me will create free advertising. And then I stopped. I want to hit you, because you're a bigger threat.
Okay, let's go. Like you're carrying something.
See, I was mostly talking about Overwatch there, but yeah, I'm gonna live with you. I really liked War of the Spark. It was the last time I cared about Magic. Which sucks, because the story for War of the Spark was awful, and we complain about it constantly, because they went from, okay, we'll do 2 set blocks, because we think that we've figured out that 2 set blocks are the cause of why draft environments suck. And then it turned out that no, it's actually just that small sets suck. So we're gonna stop doing 2 set storylines, and we'll just do storylines that take place over 1 set. And then we're going to go to Ravnica and do a 3 large set block where each one's gonna be its own story, except that, as with every time we go to Ravnica, there will be no story in the first 2, and it'll all happen in the last one. So they get to go, hey look, Niv Mizzet's back from the dead! And everyone goes, Niv Mizzet was dead? And it's like, yeah, in the book that hasn't come out yet, about the first set from 6 fucking months ago! Remember? We totally hinted at it! Or suddenly making Chandra and Nissa into not a... And this is in the description of the designers who made Chandra specifically, said that she had been designed and created as and I'm quoting here, hot pansexual mess. So of course, for the War of the Spark storyline, that couldn't possibly be true, so she had to somehow go from hot pansexual mess, desperately lusting after Nissa, to, nope, that was definitely just a sexy phase, and Gideon is a big, manly man who I love because of muscles. Ah! Sorry, it was well established that Miriam and I hated basically everything about that storyline. Because it was also one of those... I hope I don't make anyone angry with this. It was a storyline like fucking Sherlock, wherein everything was somehow planned. Even like Nicol Bolas's complete and utter failures were totally 100% part of his plan, because he's just such a super genius, guys. He knew exactly what was going to happen, so he knew where he had to fail. Now I'm just being salty about all of that again. Yeah, the problem is just that we had issues with the actual story as well as everything that went into the production of the story too. It is. So I was talking with a friend of mine who basically needed to vent about... She's in a not fun spot where basically she's had body changes that mean that she's in technically a position of privilege, while friends are no longer in that position. And there's that innate thing of just because you're in a privileged position doesn't mean that there isn't anything negative that comes along with it. But being a decent and empathic person, she was like, I don't want to put this onto friends who are now dealing with the opposite side of that. So while talking with her last night, at some point we transitioned to talking about my weird fun body image crap, and made me realize that, like, yeah, these 2 times that I went out into public in the past couple of weeks, I had 2 people immediately clock me as not they, them, but at least femme. Which then made me realize, hang on a second, I've only gone outside twice in the past 2 weeks. Literally every time I went outside in the past 2 weeks, a person assumed that I was femme, which was definitely weird to realize. Admittedly, one of them immediately backpedaled when they heard my voice, but hey! That was the one who stared at my chest, so fucking squats. Shit, I thought it was already done. I should have brought the water from upstairs. God, I hate squats. Wow, this is just a set of everything I hate. Except the leg scissors, I don't hate those. No, I'm pretty much okay with either of them. Like, neither one is necessarily what I'm going for. But I mark them both as progress in the right direction. One of these days I need to get back into running. Hey, Dark Angel. Whew. See, that's the thing is, running's never been fun. It's just one of those, I'm decent at it. I actually way prefer sprinting, but that's not so good for actually, like, burning consistent calories. Oh, why mountain climbers? Oh yeah, I can see how many I have to do. Fuck, it's a lot! Oh shit, I didn't take meds this morning. Fuck you. I hate those so much. Come on. I'm just gonna lay here for a minute. Fuck you, I'm trying to see heart rate. Oh, good, 151. I'm just gonna lay here and die for a while. Wait. Shit's going up. I'm sorry I can't see chat right now, but I'm just gonna lay here for a minute. Woohoo! Fuck you, Jim, that gave me some kind of smoothie. Ashitaba? What? The fuck is Ashitaba? Sorry, that just reminded me. Hey, if you're in our Discord, which I'm very bad at advertising, we just... sorry, dying a little bit. Every Wednesday night, we do movie night streams. And the reason I remembered is because last night we've been doing a bunch of the Ghibli movies. Last night we watched Princess Mononoke. Whew. Hey cat, how are you doing? Here, I'm just gonna scoot you so you're actually on camera. There we go, hello. I don't think I've decided what next week is gonna be, because maybe finally Kiki's Delivery Service, because I never actually fully watched that one through. Because we've just been going through all the Ghibli movies. I'm gonna pronounce it every way that I've heard someone pronounce it this stream. So we started with my favorite Nausicaa, and then my wife's favorite Howl's Moving Castle. And then this week I wanted to do Princess Mononoke because I know a whole bunch of people really love that one. And I knew certain folks in the Discord were having not the best time. Castle in the Sky is also very good. But I knew that Mononoke was a bunch of people's favorites and that some of those people are having a hard time this week. So I was like, hey, let's do that. Sorry, I'm definitely just taking a quick breather here. Also, hi, Sadlin, welcome. But yeah, Castle in the Sky is nice. Like I said, I never really got into Kiki's Delivery Service, so I'm like, maybe it's because I've never actually watched it all the way through, so maybe that should be the next one. And then... I don't remember how many of the, like, slightly less well-known ones they have. Like, unless there's a big outcry for it, I don't intend to have Tales of Earthsea be one of them, because I just did not love that one, and I know it's not Miyazaki, it's his son, who my understanding is didn't even want to be in animation, but wasn't doing well enough in architecture that his dad was just like, no, do this. And then there's, what is it, Marietti? The one that's the borrowers, but not. Okay. Why is this still on my fucking entertainment? I don't know what to call this, that this is all sitting on, that you can't see. Because it's like a filing cabinet that is mostly full of Haley's crafting stuff. But it's a filing cabinet that we got with my old desk that we didn't move with because it was stupid heavy. Yeah, more Haley crafting stuff. Because we got it from a guy who, when the military recruitment office he worked at was closing, took his desk and big stupidly heavy filing cabinet with him. And for some reason I still have this here, and I don't know why this is in my house. I know you can't see what it says, but it's like popcorn seasoning to make the popcorn taste like it has butter on it, but it's not. But it's like a powder and does contain butter. And I don't know why this is in my fucking house. Sorry, like half of my pantry has moved with me like 4 times. But the person who I thought this would come from went, I've never heard of this before in my life. So now I'm just left going, why is this here? Also, why is it sitting on my filing cabinet thingamajig? Okay. See, that's the problem, is because I'm a food person. I'm just like, I don't actually throw that much stuff out. It's more of just, I didn't bring it in, and Haley didn't bring it in, and before this, Haley and I lived with each other and no one else. And before that, Haley and I lived with each other and no one else. Then I lived on campus with no one else. And all the things that were in my pantry that could be stored were in a storage unit. And before that, I lived with 2 people, one of whom I don't know if they still suck, but I think still sucks. But we dated, so I'm admittedly biased to assume that. It was a bad breakup. And the other person who lived in that house is the one who I checked with and would be the one most likely to bring weird popcorn seasonings in and went, no, that's not me, I just put real butter on it. It's just like, I don't know where this came from! I've literally gone back, like, before Haley and I started dating and can't find a place where it came from. Sorry, that was a minor existential crisis about fake butter seasoning. Whew. Okay, we've got okay fit skills for this. I'm actually going to grab some water real quick. Hang on. Yay, water. Whew. See, the issue there is I'm really bad at doing any kind of self-publicize. So I can't sell myself. I'm really shitty at selling myself. Whew. Like, that's why at the end of streams I try and basically force myself into going, hey, you can find us literally everywhere if you type Lair of Lore into your preferred search engine. Like, the first page should be me. Maybe more if it auto-populates with different parts of the Lair of Lore website. Because technically the Facebook account is Lair of Lore, is facebook.com/Lair of Lore, which is the only reason I have a not... It's the only reason I still have a Facebook account, because you can't have a page without having a real account, even if the real account hasn't done anything in years. Except get a comment from my realtor recently, because she finally looked at my profile and saw that I had the header? The, like, wide page image that isn't your profile image. She apparently finally looked at that and went, I'll go look into this. It's like a 2018 or 2019 header for Desert Bus for Hope. She's like, I just looked at this. That's awesome. That's from 2019 at least, but okay, sure. Like, we're Lair of Lore on Twitter. You cannot jump up there, cat. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're Lair of Lore on Instagram and Twitter. And then lairoflore.com. I'm not a Discord partner, so I don't get to have a fancy custom link. You are such a pest, cat. I don't know if he's still on camera, but he's sitting right under it. So yeah, sorry, I'm really bad at going, hey, here's all the places where you can find all of the ancillary shit that I do. Hell, I managed to post an Instagram story about making a goddamn cake yesterday that ended up coming out at least slightly horny. Because look, if you weren't here yesterday, I did the entire stream just because I wanted to eat a 340 calorie microwave mug cake. And being who I am, because Joe Kim, who is a delightful streamer, if you don't know him, you should definitely check him out. The first time that I posted a story to Instagram was trying to make a family recipe for a French silk pie to pretend that I had control over my life. I think that was either just before or during the attempted coup. And I, without thinking, took a picture of, like, licking the paddle. And Joe was either live or talking to me when I posted it. Oh, right, we were in a Discord call. It was definitely during the insurrection, because we were in a Discord call just trying to vent about it. And Joe gave me shit for it. So when I finished making the pie, I threw in another thing of, like, licking the whisk with a comment of, like, that one's for you, Joe. So of course I finished the making the stupid mug cake with something similar. Like, why did I do that? At the bottom of the image too. I feel like that damage was really bad, but whatever. Calcifer, what the hell are you doing? Oh, he definitely knows. If you look at our emotes, 2 of them are him. Because for the first... Not first. For like the entire second and third year of the stream, he was constantly jumping up and getting in the way of the camera. Unfortunately, I will give you pets in just a second, Calcifer. Unfortunately, the emote design was actually initially rejected because mine were submitted just after Twitch started applying the new anti-sexual/lewd emotes that only applies to affiliates and partners who don't make them enough money. Yes, I'm salty about that, but it's also a true statement. So, the original design for the cat butt that the artist made had a heart. Because, here, I can throw it in right now. And in fact, the stickers we have on our merch store actually still have the original version. How the hell do I close chat now? No, there we go. I need to close the keyboard. So it used to have a heart right in the middle. But, yeah. But all of the merch that we produce with it, because we bought merch rights with that, still use the heart version. Because it's dumb. As soon as I'm done with these tricep kickbacks, you can get some pets, Catbutt. Unless you leave, then maybe not so much. I need to remember to message Sibwow today, because I definitely didn't yesterday. I will count that as my after-stream work that I need to do. Hello, cat. Hello. You love standing on top of this hutch like the weird monster you are, don't you? Yes, you do. Like, I think basically the entire year and change that Odinson and I were running Hunt Showdown streams almost every Sunday, Calcifer joined in on pretty much every one of those, showing off his masterful use of his super purr. When we adopted him, we got a warning from the shelter where they basically went, okay, look, when you get him checked out by your vet, they're going to have a hard time getting a heart rate on him. And I went, what? Why? Why? It's like, so when he came in as a stray, he didn't stop purring like a fucking motorboat for 3 days. so we couldn't hear his heart over the purring. I love them too. I'm so glad that I'm so glad that Myra used the Spa car thing to pick out a color, because it turned out that not having my nails painted was really throwing me off. Whew. Also, I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I'm really tempted to use these headphones for some streams in the future, just because that way it's easier to see my dumb side shave, because I'm proud of it, and also because Haley gave me a bunch of clip-on earrings that she found out she hadn't actually gotten rid of like she thought she had. And there's only like one pair that I can wear with the over-ear headphones, and it's not like anyone would be able to tell anyway. To be clear, the reason why she thought she got rid of all of them is because her college graduation present to herself was getting her ears pierced. Which was in, I think, 2015 or 2016. Time has gotten away from me at this point. I know that I graduated in 2015, and I think we technically graduated the same year because I took an extra semester to finish university because depression! Oh god, we're just doing squats again, what the hell? And honestly, I'm looking at the place where Haley got her ears pierced to maybe get mine done, because it looks like they're trying to be relatively COVID safe. But the problem is that both in video games and in real life, I'm a massive coward. And I'm simultaneously afraid of one, oh god, the pain, which I know is not actually that bad, but whatever, I'm a coward. And the secondary concern of, oh god, what if I end up like my sister and just want to pierce everything? Same reason I don't actually have any tattoos yet. Oh, and I will say, the same artist who made the cat things made our proper heart, and I love what she did with it. Because, neither Miriam or I can really remember why we wanted to go with a train for the logo of Lair of Lore. The old logo, again, you can't quite see it, but it's on this painting over here with the blue stripe at the bottom. It was like a magnifying glass with a labyrinth in it. Okay, yeah, and I'm also pretty sure I could probably deal with the pain, considering that I run a fucking epilator over my face every morning. And before that was dealing with laser for hair removal, so it's not as bad as waxing your face, because fucking hell, waxing your face is the worst thing ever if you have masculine facial hair growth. God, it's awful. God, I miss being able to laser. I really need to call them and see how much they'll do. Oh, so, sorry, I was going on a weird tangent there. Basically, we used to have a magnifying glass. With a labyrinth in it, which was, I think, part of why we went with Labyrinth of Lore, before changing it to Lair of Lore tagline Enter the Labyrinth, which we never used the tagline anywhere, but whatever. Oh, my poor tries. At some point, I decided Train would be better, and Miriam had agreed, so I got a Train logo done by a UK designer who had been doing a bunch of esports style logos, and I went, ooh, I like some of the things they've been doing, so got them to do it. And then when it came to getting more emotes done, when Twitch gave affiliates more emote slots, the person who I contacted was like, okay, this one might be a little weird, but I want to do a heart that looks like our Train logo, but oncoming, like using the cow catcher as the base as like the point of the heart, and built out from like the oncoming light. And she did a fucking amazing job with it. I love it. Like, having the heart on the cat butt was going to be a bonus, but the Train one was always the planned heart. Okay, that was definitely the last one I'm doing, because I think I did something to my back in there. Hey, Sid, wow. Sorry, you're arriving as I wrap up. And have a cat standing directly in front of the camera for like the past half an hour. That is not true. My fucking heart rate's at 160, you dickhead. Oh. See, that's kind of exactly my problem there, Kitori, is that I want a bunch of body jewelry, and I'm just like, oh, that's a slippery slope, because I know that as soon as I get one piercing, it's like, oh, that's not that bad. I will end up like my sister, who has, like, she got her ears pierced at, like, 12, I think. And then didn't do anything for, like, 2 years, and now has basically added a piercing and a tattoo every year. Although I think she slowed down on the piercings a little bit, just because she had so many that she couldn't add anymore and let some of them close up, or doesn't use them anymore, like she had an industrial for a while. That I think she's stopped, like she's just sort of let it be, instead to focus on... She was gauging her ears for a while, and I think got them to a point that she's happy with them. So I think she's mostly been doing tattoos now. And I just look at it and go like, oh, yeah, if I don't end up hating the first ear piercing, I'm gonna end up with a bunch of them, and then probably a bunch of ones that aren't immediately obvious because I'm dumb like that. Like, the eyebrow and nose ones have never appealed to me, but yeah. And it's one of those, I have a tattoo idea, because most of my family have a tattoo theme, because my parents have a thing with flamingos that's sort of hard to... It's a long story, but it's a very cute story. I'll try and go into it on the end screen. But my parents had a thing with flamingos, and when my dad passed away, his sister, who admittedly we don't really deal with lately because she's been kind of shit, her daughters, my sister, and my mom all have flamingo tattoos. None of them match. They're not even all in the same places. They're all just different stylized flamingo tattoos. And, like, I want that. I just don't know what style yet. Oh, yeah, my back is doing something weird. See, I like the idea of snake bites. It's just one of the... And a lot of facial piercings, for me, it's just like, I don't think I want them on me. Because I have enough issues looking at my own eyebrows and going, these are wrong, but I don't know how, and therefore don't know how to fix them. Oops. Whew. You got the endorphin rush and thought, oh, I get why people get a bunch of these, and 15 years later, no new piercings. Fair enough, yep. Your neck down to your back. Neck down to back. I think, no, tibial is leg. I think it's dorsi? Damn, it was oh, shit. Oh, god damn it. I always forget traps and triceps. For some reason, I get those two confused for some reason. I know that it's tricep because it's got a 3 connection point, 2 up here and 1 down here, but I always get it screwy. Whew. But yeah, I have two tattoo ideas of something with the flamingo and then the train heart, because I fucking love the train heart. It's easily my favorite emote that we have. Like, I love all of our emotes, but this train heart just makes me so fucking happy. Oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass to close these. See, the thing is that I don't really associate with being a chef anymore. Because it's been 5+ years since I was employed as a pastry chef. Like, I still technically have not spent more time being a streamer than I have being in the culinary industry, because I worked off and on in the culinary industry since I was 16. But I don't know. It's mostly just I don't want just a flamingo. I want a stylized one, but I don't know what style, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to meet you back over there, and I'm going to briefly do the whole spiel about flamingos, because, hey, this is going to get very real for a minute. Thankfully, I forgot to take my E this morning, so maybe I won't break down crying during it. Ugh. Hang on, fixing mic settings. There we go. Whew. Okay, so quick run through for anyone who hasn't heard about the whole flamingo thing. We lost my father in April of 2018. He had been diagnosed with with stage 4 liver cancer since 2016. And we'd known that there was something wrong with him a lot before that, because just like he was having so many weird issues. The first of which was at some point someone looked at his liver and went, "So you're a heavy drinker, right?" And he went, "No, not at all," because he had non-alcoholic sclerosis of the liver, which is, sclerosis is normally the thing you get from drinking a whole lot. It's that, like, scarring on your liver. And he didn't. He smoked, but that was about it. He smoked a lot, which is probably why I have asthma. And from 20... So he had, like, the signs had been starting to get noticed since, like, 2012. I left for university... No, before that, because we noticed some of the signs before I left for university, because I started in 2011, my first year in university. And we didn't know what it was for a while, and it just kept sort of building up. And at some point in 2014, it was official that, like, okay, he's got some kind of... Something is clearly wrong here, and we're still trying to figure out what it is. In 2014, he was also running for he was running for city councilman of my hometown, because since moving to California from Minnesota, he had been an aspiring actor. And when he and my mom got married, he kept acting, but because she made bank, but he mostly focused on instead trying to put more good out into the community. So he became a columnist for the LA Times, the Burbank Leader, and which one is this? That's the Burbank Leader one. Shit. I don't have the other one. The Hollywood something. Glendale something. Like this is his 20 this is his 1996 award from the Southern California Journalism Awards, the 39th year that they ran it. He won 3 awards in 1996 that for the different columns that he put out. And he mostly did political columns. He did twice weekly ones. That thing over there, here, let me grab this so you can see it better. This was done for him by Bill Justice, an animator for Disney, for an expose that my father wrote about the horrible business practices that went on in the animation studios in Disney in the 1990s. And now it's in my fucking office, and it makes me so happy. So in 2014, he started running to join the Burbank City Council. Yeah, they're not much better now, but yeah. And the way that he mostly did this was by canvassing. And I feel like most people, when they hear canvassing, expect that means a whole bunch of people walking up and down streets and distributing stuff. What in this case it actually meant was that my not quite 60, my 58-year-old father, and whatever 2 friends and sometimes my mom that he recruited would individually, the 3 of them would be the ones walking up and down a street, not handing out literature, but like knocking if there wasn't a no soliciting thing, and going like, "Hi, I'm running for city council rep for this part of Burbank. I'm Will Rogers. I've done these things. Do you have any questions? And is there anything that," like, he did instead of the, "Hey, here's my platform," it was, "What do all of you actually want? Because I've been writing politics for the city for decades now, but I want to know what you actually want." And he won. And then in 2015, when it was confirmed that he had terminal cancer, the way that the Burbank City Council works is that they rotate through who's mayor. And technically he was supposed to be vice mayor the year that he was elected because of the voter turnout for him. But that didn't... there was also internal politicking. It was fun. Basically, it took 2 years for him to become mayor. And as part of his mayoral becoming speech, he announced to the wider city that, like, "Hey, there's a non-zero chance that I might die while in office because I have terminal cancer of at least the liver, also probably the bowel. And an old, not even family friend, the parent of one of my sister's friends from elementary school, remembered that whenever she would pick her kid up from our house, there were these flamingos, these just like silly plastic flamingos, set out in our front yard. And she had no idea why they were there. She just knew that, like, that's the way that you find the Rogers house, was it's the one with all the flamingos. And if you haven't been paying attention since the last time you were there might be more now." And she remembered that, and somehow, without in any way giving it away, she organized this thing where people from all over the city brought and snuck flamingos into my parents' front yard, and into the mayoral office, and just they ended up everywhere. And no one knew why the flamingos, like, she even did like a speech after my dad figured out that it was her doing it, and was like, this massive outpouring of support from the community was just so important to him. He was like, I really want to thank you publicly. And she did a brief little speech about it, and was like, I remember always coming to the Rogers house and seeing these stupid flamingos out there and never knowing why they were there. And the reason why they were there is because after my parents bought that house and moved from Van Nuys to Burbank, every wedding anniversary they'd buy 2 more flamingos and put them out in the front yard. So when we lost my dad in 2018, it just sort of became a thing that we were all going to do that. And it still feels weird that I don't have one, because like my father was the officiant at Haley and I's wedding. Like, that was, as far as a lot of people can tell, he stopped being really cognizant of what was going on after about 2016. Where if you've ever dealt with people with dementia, there's sort of there's these weird moments of lucidity. And if you've dealt with them over a long period of time, you get this feeling that they're that they can sort of grab onto and hold on to those and save them for important moments. And for a lot of that, he was apparently saving it for when he was doing his job as a city councilor. Like, he was a perfectly cogent person who was able to like communicate with his coworkers and was significantly better about reading the information they were given and looking at outside sources and like citing legitimate studies for the things that he was trying to push through to better the town that he loved so much. But then a lot of the rest of the time, because my mom was the one who was dealing with him, it was just like he wasn't really there. And I guess he managed to be as functional as possible for in 2017 when he married Haley and I. And because when he passed away, like 5 months after that, we were going back through a whole bunch of his stuff and realizing that, there was even a point in 2016 where you could see a change in the physical writing that he was doing after 2016, where it's like you could hold up a piece of paper from 2014 and go, yeah, this is the Will Rogers writing that all of us remember. And then 2016, this is someone else entirely. And then there's 2016, this was from a city council meeting. Wait a second, that's the Will Rogers that we remember. But yeah, that's why I'm going to get a flamingo somewhere if COVID ever fucking goes away. I'm getting a flamingo somewhere. I didn't cry. I thought about it really hard, but I didn't cry. Might also be why I like doing the pink with the hair. I'd be stupid if I didn't say that I was really tempted to end up doing it on a shoulder, just so that it's always there. But yeah. Sorry, this got dark if you haven't been here before. Hi, I overshare. Sorry if you weren't expecting that. This is my brain. This is my brain without having taken any estradiol today, and I was supposed to take some. I'm trying hard not to cry. I'm working on it, but yeah. I'm going to level with you. I was actually thinking something more of like, look, the man would have absolutely loved a devil flamingo. Okay, no, I'm ending this on a fucking happy note. Okay, one, when he did pass away, for anyone who's familiar with the antibiotic is the spiralactone, which I also need to take, but apparently I don't. So my body hates testosterone. If you haven't heard this, Sibwow, my body fucking hates testosterone. It hates all hormones, but it really hates testosterone. Okay, so first let me finish the dumb story about my dad. For anyone who follows American politics, my father was good friends with Adam Schiff. who is a representative from California and one of the people who has been pushing for the aggressive impeachment of Donald Trump. And he was one of the speakers at my father's funeral. Adam Schiff had been trying, before my dad's diagnosis, had been pushing my dad to get into larger politics. Because when he worked for the LA Times, he didn't when he worked for the Burbank Leader, he covered local politics. When he was doing stuff for the LA Times, he did national politics and international. But I feel like it's a very good summation of the way that my father was, that simultaneously his funeral had one of the eulogies was read by Adam Schiff. My father also had 2 requests in his will that we only fulfilled one of, because the other one we put on the funeral too quickly to find time for. The first one that we did fulfill was after he was cremated. This one's going to make me cry. He wanted my sister to put googly eyes on his urn. And she did, and they're still there. And his urn is sitting on my mom's mantelpiece next to the Irish Wolfhound that went with him on all of the... Hang on. That went with him on all of his canvassing walks, because that was how people really recognized him, was that he also went everywhere with an 175-pound Irish Wolfhound. The thing he wanted that we couldn't do was actually mostly because, as mayor of Burbank, a lot of what he did was officiate and take part in ex-military and Air Force especially funerals, because Burbank, while it's mostly known as an entertainment town, is also an aircraft development town. Their ground is aggressively toxic. We can't grow anything there because Lockheed Martin did all of their product development since World War II there, so all of the ground is toxic. But that means that we've got a whole bunch of Air Force folks who die and are celebrated. We have an entire Air Force section of the local cemetery. So he ended up not officiating, but taking a significant role in a lot of Air Force funerals, which very often have what's called a missing man formation, which either are done with people or are done with planes. And it's a proper formation going down an aisle or going through the air in a thing, and then one of them peels off and just sort of goes away, and the others have to keep acting like they're going on normally. And in my father's will, he specifically requested that we see if we can connect with any of the drag queens that he used to be friends with, and who he just sort of stopped being in Hollywood and therefore stopped being around them because he stopped acting as much, and see if he could get them to do a missing man formation at his funeral, except instead of just... No, this one's gonna make me cry. Oh my god, this one's so dumb. Instead of the just keep moving with the sort of military discipline thing, he wanted it to be the 4 drag queens going down, 5 going down the aisle, and the one peeling off, and the other one's looking back sadly and going oh no. But then doing what he... Why the fuck did I do this? Then doing what he wanted us all to do, which was fuck the formation, join back up together as a big hug and keep moving on together. Why the fuck did I do this? Oh god, this was stupid. Okay. Anyway. Now I'm just gonna be really sensitive about my voice because of all this too. Thank you so very much. Sorry that went dark and weird and... Oh god, am I sure I didn't take it this morning? Fuck! Whew. Thank you all so very much. Oh, I will be back later today. Okay. We have an extremely silly stream plan for later today because it's the WoW raid tonight. Oh, okay. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit before that, which is I'm going to try and play some of the indie games that I've been hearing people like talk about lately around me. So hey, if you have an opinion on which one of those three you want me to start with, I'm probably gonna pay attention to it. The options are I just close the thing so I can't see them anymore. Fate Tactics, One Step from Eden, and Gunfire Reborn, because just I've seen a bunch of people talking about them lately, so I'm intrigued and hey, do you have a suggestion? But yeah, thank you so very much. You've all been a fucking delight. I'm gonna throw us over to Bengineering because it's Bengineering, and yeah, thank you all. As a reminder, you can find us at any place Lair of Lore, so Patreon, YouTube, coffee.com/Lair of Lore, on Twitter and Instagram at Lair of Lore, and this stream is brought to you by Alfcat and Lord Inkdeath because of their amazing support over on Patreon. Yeah, I'm going to go cry in a corner and then get this all set up to go. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a thing, but hey, thank you all, I love you, I will hopefully see you tonight, bye folks.